Welcome to the next episode of the Shameless Freedom Podcast. And today I want to talk about power isn't control and the truth about feminine power. And unfortunately, in our world today, we as women have been taught to protect ourselves from others who are trying to control us. And unfortunately, it has blocked us from our ability to let go, to surrender, to release, to allow things to happen, to allow ourselves to receive. Because we have been taught these narratives that don't allow us to feel safe. When our body and our nervous system does not feel safe, we are going to grip. We are going to tighten. We are going to hold on. And that is contracting. Like, just even look at how I'm talking about it, right? Like, this is what happens. We contract. That is not how you want your body to be. We want to be expansive. We want to create space. We want to create room. We want to have the capacity for more, for holding more. And what ends up happening is we collapse, we contract because our body naturally does not feel safe. Now, why is that? Let's go there for a moment. Why do our bodies not feel safe? Well, for each of us, it may stem from specific situations that have likely happened throughout our entire lives. However, the body and our nervous system has been programmed to protect us because at some point we did not feel protected. We did not feel supported by life, by our mother, by our father, whatever, right? There was something that we needed that was not provided. It was missing in our body. So we've put up these protective shields. Now, many of us have layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of shields that block us from feeling that sense of safety and security in our body. And society has tried to teach us to think our way out of it. Now, what I mean by that is there are brilliant books that are out there. Think and Grow Rich is one of them. Our thoughts create our reality, which is absolutely true. Our thoughts do create our reality. And it is more than just our thinking that creates the safety in our body. You need to be able to inhabit and physically be in your body to feel safe. However, if you are at war with your body, if you do not like your body, if you have struggled with your body, it is hard to have a relationship with your body when you don't love it. Think about this for a moment. If you have a friend and you love that friend, it is easy to have a relationship with them. If you have someone who's somewhat toxic, it's hard to have a relationship with them. So I ask you, how can you have a loving relationship with your body that you don't actually love, that you talk negatively about, that you ignore. How often are we ignoring our bodies? We, there are things in our bodies that just happen, right? Like our organs function without us thinking about them. We breathe without thinking about it. So our body is a huge benefit to us in that it does things subconsciously to run. And what if we took the time to pay more attention to it, to provide it with the loving nourishment, attention, care that it needs and deserves? What would happen for you? Maybe you would feel less pressure. You would feel less tension. You might feel less stress. You would feel more open, more expansive. You would have more capacity for what you're desiring in your life. And yeah, I see so many of us not doing that. We run around stressed out and crazy. You know, I laugh because I had a few examples in my own personal life happen recently where it was like both ends of the spectrum, where I had an experience where I was in pain and was just physically exhausted. And it was a struggle to do my embodiment practices. But I also knew it was what I needed in order to support me to feel like me again. And on the flip side, there was a day when I worked a little too hard, a little too much to try to get something done. And I was wired. It was one of those experiences I used to feel years ago when I would work more than hours, more than 40 hours a week. And um, it was just overwhelm and overdrive. It wasn't exhaustion. I was just, bing, the cortisol was way high. And what I noticed was it was harder for me to do an embodiment practice when I was like this on overdrive, doing, the mind doing, the body doing, just like continuing to act. It was harder to slow down. And it was a very interesting observation for me to have both ends of the spectrum literally come at me within a matter of a few days. And it was a great reminder because I know the power of loving the body and doing embodiment practices. And most women will say, I don't have the time for that. That's not going to do anything for me. What is that stuff going to do? I need to go focus on making money. And I am here to tell you and to prove to you, no, you don't need to do another thing. You need to learn the medicine of your own body, be in your body. Even if it is 3 to 5 minutes a day, that's it. You start there. That's what you need. Your body needs it. And it is the thing that we need the most support on is learning how to give ourselves love, attention, nourishment when we don't want to give it to ourselves the most, when we're just not feeling like it. is when you need that. And I witnessed that in my own life. I've seen it in other people's as well too. But what I thought was interesting is the fact that when you try to do more as a woman, it's harder to get yourself to be more. If you're constantly in that overdrive, 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 this is why for most women, they claim it doesn't work because they try, but it's really more of a, I tried to do this thing to do the check mark off the list, but it didn't really work. Well, because all you did was you did another thing. You basically just did a check mark to say, I did my embodiment practice, as opposed to allowed yourself to melt into it. This isn't about doing something. This is about melting, soaking in, allowing, receiving, being. That's what this is all about. When you can have a different relationship with your body and you release the pressure, you release the stress. We've been told, oh, just push yourself more. You know what? There's a time and a place to push yourself, and I get that. But we have been taught too much that we have to push to get it done. And then what ends up happening is it's not sustainable. I want you to do something sustainable. This is why I have created a squat, womb, and pelvic floor challenge that you can do 5 minutes a day, 5 to 10 minutes a day, depending on the day, to be in your body, to connect with parts of you that you likely never connect with. It is so important to understand where we are trying to control and protect ourselves from something that is stopping us from really connecting with the power within, surrendering to our body is the greatest gift we can give to ourselves. And yet, we deny ourselves the thing that we hunger for the most. Ladies, I invite you to take the time for you. 5 minutes a day. You can start there. If you find one practice that you can do for 5 minutes a day and not to just check it off the list, to really feel and embody and allow yourself to communicate with yourself, your body, your divine spirit. That's what it's all about. This is not about a competition. This is not about performance. If you're going to do a dance, this is not about winning an award. This is about you being in your body, enjoying feeling your body, enjoying feeling the energy that is moving through you so that you can create more of what you want. You can love the life that you have. You can experience all of the joys that are meant to be lived in the moment. Don't wait. Allow yourself to sign up. 20-day womb challenge. If you end up hearing this later than June 1st, it's okay, because here's the thing. You can sign up and you can do it whenever you want. The videos are going to be on YouTube so that you can look at them, experience them, practice them whenever you want. And if you are someone who wants more accountability because you sign up for these things, then you just don't do them, we have an upgrade option to do that. I am here to support you in this journey to love yourself, to love your body, to stop viewing your body as the enemy. and start giving your body the love and attention she craves.